News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Bomb threat closes down a local truck stop. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Tuesday, September 22nd, 2015. Right now we have a mostly clear sky, much cooler than it was yesterday. It's only 41 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by NC Design Studio. They specialize in high-end residential architecture and commercial development. Online at ncdesignstudio.com. A bomb threat was called into the Flying J truck stop at the Y last night. Sergeant Jeremiah Peterson with the Missoula County Sheriff's Office said the call came into 911 at about 7:40 last night.
The business was evacuated, and we had a member of the EOD team from the Missoula Bomb Squad come out, and 2 canines from the University of Montana Police Department come out, do a sweep of the premises and the building. No devices were found, and the business was reopened, and investigation is still ongoing, but at this point, we don't have any suspects.
Peterson said the truck stop shut off the gas pumps and evacuated the area. The business was reopened at about 8:40 p.m. Peterson said Frenchtown Fire also responded. No one was injured. A missing or endangered persons alert has been issued for a 13-year-old Austin Soden. He was reported missing from Missoula about 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Austin is autistic and has suicidal ideations, does not have access to his medication, is believed to be in danger. He's 5'6", weighs 200 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair, has a large birthmark on his left shoulder. He was last seen wearing black sweatpants and a black T-shirt. You're asked to contact the Missoula Police Department at 552-6290 or 552-6300 if you have any information as to his whereabouts. Near the end of August, a group called the Advocates for Missoula's Future filed a motion at Judge Karen Townsend's district court to see the recent valuation of the Mountain Water Company. According to Attorney Quentin Rhodes, who represents the group, the public has a right to know. There is a suspect history of bad estimations when it comes to the cost of Mountain Water's eminent domain lawsuit.
If those estimates had been accurate in the past, maybe it wouldn't be such a great concern now, but they haven't been. And they've been woefully inaccurate. And we don't necessarily blame the city or Mayor Engen for that. He's been getting bad advice as we see it. The public needs to know this information. It has an absolute right in the Montana Constitution to know this information.
However, the information hasn't been easy to come by. The valuation was not released when discussed at City Council. The city has also drafted its own motion last week to counter a motion filed by Advocates for Missoula's Future, arguing that the release of the numbers would be pointless. Rhodes said the counter motion by the city is at odds with what the city has said in the past with revealing the estimated valuation.
Mountain Water has consented to it. The Carlisle Group has consented to it. The employees have consented to it. And really the city has consented to it, although it's taking kind of a hostile position with respect to advocates. I think that it's sort of perplexing why they would do that. I don't think it reflects well on the city or mayor that they should be so hostile toward their own citizens.
Advocates for Missoula's Future has a deadline to respond set for this Friday. Rhodes says his clients plan to argue that there is no law in Montana that requires this information to remain confidential, that no court order requires it to be withheld, and that the public has a right to know. U.S. officials plan to make a major announcement today on efforts to protect an imperiled bird that could have implications for the energy and ranching industries. The Interior Department says governors of Colorado, Nevada, Wyoming, and Montana are among those who plan to join Secretary Sally Jewell and other federal officials for the announcement about greater sage grouse at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge outside Denver. The government faces a September 30th court-imposed deadline to decide whether it should list the chicken-sized birds as a threatened or endangered species. Greater sage grouse range from California all the way to the Dakotas. They've dwindled from millions to more than 500,000 amid loss of their sagebrush habitat. A listing could restrict oil and gas development and grazing across much of the West. For bow and rifle hunters, nothing is more important than proper planning for your hunt. Now the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is offering an online hunter's checklist. Public Relations Director Mark Holyoke has details.
The thing thing I really like about it is it divides it up into different sections as to not only what you're carrying, a rifle or a bow, but also how long you'll hunt. You know, it just gives you options to personalize a checklist, and then you print it up, and then you go around the house and make sure you have everything and get out the door with what you need.
Holyoke said bow hunters and rifle hunters have different needs, and the checklist is tailor-made to help both.
During the bow hunt, you need your camo, and during rifle, you need your hunter orange and that sort of thing. But you do have the difference in equipment. You need to make sure you're prepared if you're out with a bow as opposed to a rifle. You've got to have your particular tools to keep your bow tuned up and those sorts of things. So there are some slight differences.
Find a link to the online hunters checklist on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. A federal panel is recommending the U.S. government cancel a drilling lease on land near Montana's Glacier National Park that is considered sacred to Native American tribes. The Advisory Council on Historic Preservation submitted its recommendations yesterday to the U.S. Forest Service and the U.S. Bureau of Land Management. The Forest Service will make its own recommendation to the BLM, which will make the final decision. The Advisory Council says the Badger Two Medicine area is of premier importance to the Blackfeet tribe's religious and cultural traditions. It says the plan by Baton Rouge, Louisiana-based Solonex to drill an exploratory oil and gas well there would so damage the area that the tribe's ability to practice those traditions would be lost. This evening marks the first public meeting for the Harpers Bridge, also known as the South Avenue Bridge, and its design. Missoula County Engineer Eric Dixon, said the overall design process began a few years ago after the conclusion of a planning study, as well as the Missoula County Commissioner's decision to move the project forward with support from other organizations.
We got our design consultant on board several months ago and have been collecting some background information. So tonight's meeting is to present some of that basic information, let the residents know where we're at so far and what the plans are for moving forward with the design and the environmental documentation.
The project is looking to replace the one-lane McClay Bridge by removing it from its North Avenue location eventually and trading it in for Harpers Bridge. Dixon says it would be an extended version of the old McClay Bridge, only this time on South Avenue, connecting it to River Pines Road.
The good thing is that with McClay Bridge still in place and functioning, it's not critical that it be removed in the time frame that we're looking at, so it won't impact the daily traffic that's used to traveling that road every day. As far as the cost goes, I believe it's around $11 million. The benefit is that, see, with McClay Bridge being a one-lane truss, it'll be a two-lane structure.
Dixon says the design is a 2-year process. To learn more, visit southavenuebridge.com. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly sunny today with our highs in the mid-70s. Partly cloudy tonight with our lows dropping into the low 40s. Warming temperatures through the middle of the week with our highs coming close to 80 degrees by Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.